So the light has just gotten good for picking mangoes, so gonna make a little trip around to see what's ready to pick. It's Dwarf Hawaiian. We're at the end of the season for Dwarf Hawaiian, but there's always something that's ready. Nice little duo. Tougher to see Dwarf Hawaiian because of how dense the foliage is. One looked like it was starting to yellow a little bit. Yep, that should be fine. Ooh, that one's even nicer. Let's see if we can get something else here. This is one that squirrel got to first. See, it's green, but delicious, apparently. I think that's just about it for this tree right now. Some young ones that aren't ready to pick yet, but most of the crop is already finished. So this is a nice variety that is eaten green. The name we have for it is elephant. I don't know if that's its real name or not. Actually, I think most of these fruit could stay on a little bit longer. This is what I like to see in a fruit I pick. That's just ready to pick. Should be delicious. Of course, eaten at this stage. We don't ripen it. So, got one fruit and a bunch more on the tree. Okay. So right over here is Chakanan. And Chakanan's a variety from Thailand, but this is actually not the original Chakanan variety. Because it's polyembryonic, A lot of people, because of the high demand for this particular variety, just planted seeds of Chakanan. And this Chakanan is actually a seedling, which I understand is completely different from the original Chakanan, but both are delicious. The original Chakanan is a bigger fruit with a different flavor. But these fruit, ready to pick. We have Carrie over here. I see one that's ready to pick right now. Sort of a bluish green, and the skin is stretched. I'm seeing a little bit of sap coming out of the skin. And this is, nice and full fruit. The shoulders are big. It's not narrow or whatever. So that is a nice Carrie. These are way too young. That's several weeks away from being ready to pick. This one's getting close, but it's not quite there. Another couple days probably for that one. I think I see a few up in the tree, so. Sometimes it always takes a long time to pick Carrie to do it well, because you don't want to pick something before it's time. So I hate to think about the per hour cost of this. But that one's a good fruit. It's got nice full shoulders. The stem broke, and so it's leaking sap. So, I'd rather have the stem on there so it doesn't leak sap, but that should ripen up fine. Got one in the top of the tree here. Oh, all I did was touch it, and it dropped into the basket. It was definitely time to pick that fruit. Gorgeous, like one day away from being ripe. I think that's it for this tree. Got ruts from a big dump truck here. Got some sand in the back of the property and ruts in the front. Here's one of our lemon meringue trees. You see, we have lots and lots of new growth, which is dreadful because wherever there's new leaves, there is not fruit. I see a little bit of fruit over here. They don't seem to be ready yet. So there's 3 there and 3 there. Few in the center of the tree, but they're further behind than those ones on the edge. We've got a few clusters over here too. Nothing is ready to pick yet. Off to the next tree. Check the valkyrie over here. See what we have going on. Oh, that looks nice. You can get that sort of at a weird angle here with the picker. Whoops. Okay, got it. So there's valkyrie. I think there's a couple more within reach that I can get with my hand pruners. Let's see. That one's definitely looking good. One could be a couple more days. This one. This one's just fine too. See, there's actually some sap beads on here, right there. So that's a good indication. Plus, this is, it's starting to turn cold. It's starting to turn color here, and both of these are very full. So that's about it for the tree right now. So yeah, here's another lemon meringue tree, and this one is looking wonderful. Should be ready to eat in a couple days, tomorrow or the next day. Got a little teeny one. Sometimes those have the right flavor, sometimes they don't, but it's nice and full, even though it's small. Oh, look at here. I just cut this because it's so reachable, and to prevent the sap coming out. But there is one that would be ready to eat now or later this same day. But again, a very well established lemon meringue tree, and this is all I have to pick. It's crazy. Crazy year right now. Hey, Lola. So we have deroza. I always like to park in the shade because I don't want the nice fruit that I picked to get too hot. But rosa, even though this is sort of late in the year for rosa, it starts really early this season. But yeah, still lots of fruit on it. Lots of fruit ready to pick. Beautiful fruit. It does often get marks on the skin, but they don't go into the fruit. There's 3 roses that are ready to pick, but not at the stage that I eat them. There are people that eat them at this stage and before they're completely ripe, but I like them ripe. So this Carrie tree has a good amount of fruit on it, but it's a little bit behind the other one, you know, timing-wise. I think that there are fruit to pick, though. Yep, that one should be fine. Nice and full, a little bit of color. Seeing the lentils. Not ready yet. That's all I'm seeing for this tree right now. So this is St. Maui. This is actually the first year that we've had this fruit. Recently top worked part of the Fairchild tree to St. Maui. And some of these, I mean, this is a very plump fruit. You know, because I haven't had any in the grove before. I'm not an expert on picking it, but it sure seems like this is one to pick right now. It's like, seems very full. And this is a different color up here. This one is not as far along. You see the bottom? This is a darker green, much greener, and not quite as plump. So that one was looking pretty good, but not up close. That one's fairly close. Also this one, but I'm just going to leave them on the tree for hopefully a couple days, and so we can get a really good example of what St. Maui is all about. It's like with a new variety, a lot of times I'll put the name on the fruit while it's on the tree, because I'm not always the person picking, and if we get a fruit that like this and we've never had it before, it's hard to place it. Like, okay, what is its name? So that's the reason for the writing on the fruit. This is Florigon, definitely a reliable, productive variety. This is ready to pick. That is beautiful. It's just looks very full. When I'm picking, I put things that look considerably different together so that it's easy for me, because I don't want to have a brain teaser after I pick. So I've got little groupings in each basket. A lot of times I'll have a separate basket for each one, but usually it's like a new pot or something like that. Lots of fruit, but not much to pick. There's half of this tree that's Florigon, and isn't that lovely? You have to get the picker, get that one down. This one looks like that's ready to pick right now and within reach. So yeah, like two more with the pole, and Florigon is done, but lots more coming. This is about as big as Florigon gets. They're looking like they got all the time they needed on the tree. Right next door we've got seacrest. Seacrest is a lovely variety. It's so dense, though, in the way it grows. It's sort of, you have to search for the fruit a little bit. Those are not quite ready to pick. Another few days. So I'm sorry, up close and personal, we see we've got yellow on the bottom here, a very full fruit. So that one is ready. I mean, it's very superficial. I know it doesn't look as gorgeous as they sometimes do, but it looks very delicious because I know what's inside. That one's looking ready too. Let's see. It's not really the lit side of the tree, but sort of have a guess that this one is ready. I guess it'd be easier if I dumped it into my hand. There we go. Oh yeah, that is nice. Very full. So got two and going for more. Not seeing anything right in this area. It's think it possibly already got picked. It's the south side of the tree, so it might have had earlier fruit. Oh, there's another one. Oh, this one looks pretty. And that morning sun, look at that. Just gorgeous. Just dropped into the picker basket. So this one is almost ready to pick. I think I'll leave it on for a little bit though. So the bottom of the fruit is not quite all the way stretched. Could be ready later today, but tomorrow at the latest. Everybody in their places. Let's see what else we can find. So this is rosy gold. We've picked quite a bit of fruit already from this, but it looks like we have some more that's ready to pick. Let's see. Get this one over there. We've got another one over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. These are all pretty close to each other as far as the level of ripeness, but this is the one that seems like it needs to be picked right now. So this is one of our jakarta trees, and it has been looking like it's about ready to pick for a while, but the color is the thing that really throws people off because it can be very, very colorful yet not ready to pick. So what I look for with jakarta, there's a certain color that sometimes happens on top of the fruit that is, like when I see it, I know it's ready to pick. But of course, that's not a useful strategy for things that are high up because you usually can't see the top of the fruit. But the other thing is that I look for the bottom to be stretched, bottom of the fruit. This one is looking wonderful. It's a very full fruit, but this bottom of the fruit does not look stretched. So I think that this would be better off if I left it on the tree for a day or two. I'm hoping that's all it takes because, you know, that just is looking gorgeous. It's not as colorful as a lot of the other ones, but the shape of that looks great. Let's see if I can find some with that stretched bottom and a nice color. This one's looking darn good. Let me see if I can find one that's even better. Well, Might have what I'm looking for on the top color. Okay, let's see what we've got. Okay, this probably could have stayed on the tree for another day or two, but should ripen up fine. It's got pretty much a stretched bottom, and it's starting to develop some of that color that I like to see it's like 1% of the fruit are, like perfect as far as the time that you've picked them, but it's getting there, so it should have full flavor. This one is actually getting some sap beads and such, but it doesn't look like it's quite there yet. So even though it has some signs of ripening, I can leave it on the tree for now. This I'm seeing sap coming down the side of the fruit, but that's probably because of wind sort of shaking it on its stem. So it's different from the little dots of sap, which are dots of sap seem to indicate that the fruit is full. So I guess our theme on Jakarta right now is not quite ready. It's very close though. So there's a look at picking around the grove. There's different things I look for when picking fruit, but stretched skin is always a good indicator. And you just sort of have to get to know your particular varieties that you grow. So hopefully that was helpful. And, there's still lots to pick, but I'm sure that you're about ready to move on to the next activity of the day. So thanks for watching.